Tonight, several breaking stories as we come on the air. Homes burned to the ground, the evacuations, the raging wildfire. Did someone push a flaming vehicle down an embankment to start this fire? A suspect under arrest at this hour. Also tonight, the images just coming in. Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with Benjamin Netanyahu amid strained relations over Netanyahu's handling of the war. First tonight, the images coming in now. The fast-moving park fire in Northern California. Homes exploding in flames. One community's road out, lined by the flames. Authorities tonight say the fire was deliberately set, Kayna Whitworth, in California. Just moments ago, Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu amid tension over Netanyahu's handling of that war. President Biden and Netanyahu meeting in the Oval Office earlier today. Netanyahu thanking the president for his support, even amid a strained relationship. And the president urging Netanyahu to accept the ceasefire deal on the table and bring the remaining hostages home. Mary Bruce at the White House. The race for president tonight, Vice President Harris in Texas, the American Federation of Teachers endorsing her. Harris pushing back against Donald Trump's insults, telling him to bring it on. Trump already telling supporters, I'm not going to be nice. And tonight, his running mate, J.D. Vance, under new scrutiny for past comments about people who don't have children. Dramatic images off the coast of Alaska. For the first time, the U.S. and Canadian fighter jets intercepting 2 Russian and 2 Chinese bombers. The incident raising concerns about the growing cooperation between Russia and China. Back in the U.S. tonight, the images coming in late today, video showing a small plane crashing in Bar Harbor, Maine. The plane going down in heavy fog at the end of a runway, exploding into flames. Tonight, Southwest Airlines revealing a major change for passengers, ending a 53-year-old tradition. New reports about Céline Dion's possible comeback at the Paris Olympics. We've now learned who she may be performing with and what they will likely sing. And here in New York tonight, after his record-breaking 10-year residency and 150 shows, Billy Joel taking a final bow at Madison Square Garden.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and we begin tonight with the breaking news. This explosive wildfire burning many homes to the ground and forcing thousands from their homes at this hour, burning 4,000 acres an hour at this point. The park fire near Chico, California, about 100 miles north of Sacramento. Look at the pictures. Erupting just 24 hours ago tonight, already burning 71,000 acres. And at this hour, police say this was no act of nature. A man is under arrest for arson. Did he push a vehicle in flames down an embankment, unleashing this fire? The moment one home explodes, it could not be saved. And time-lapse tonight from a wildfire camera, the fire taking over a communications tower, knocking that camera offline. More than 4,000 people forced from their homes. A witness telling authorities that she saw a man set this vehicle on fire and then roll it down a hill. Authorities have made an arrest tonight. Now, of course, the winds fueling these flames, and ABC's Kayna Whitworth leading us off from California.
Tonight, homes exploding in flames as firefighters north of Sacramento desperately battle a monster inferno. The park fire.
We're not cut off yet, we're good, but the heat is insane.
Outside the town of Cohasset, terrifying scenes on the tiny town's main road.
I'm completely surrounded right now, so I'm actually gonna bone out of here and see if I can get ahead of this thing, because I'm gonna end up getting caught.
Multiple large homes and structures engulfed, gas tanks violently flaring as high as the trees. Nearly 4,000 fleeing their homes, but some were trapped, forced to shelter in place.
We've got approximately 100 vehicles that are sheltering at the radio towers on Cohasset Road with fire department personnel.
Flames breaking out Wednesday afternoon in a park outside of Chico, California, burning 4,000 acres an hour. By daybreak, scorching more than 70,000 acres and an unknown number of homes.
This fire grew very, very quickly. It got really big, really fast.
How hard is that on your firefighters when something goes like that?
It is. It presents a lot of different challenges.
The fire deliberately set, according to authorities, who are aware of this video posted to TikTok by someone who says they saw it happen.
I watched the guy blow up his car and then put it in neutral and roll it down the hill and take off like nothing happened.
Police arresting a 42-year-old man and say this is the vehicle pushed down the embankment that started the fire.
And David, all of a sudden there was a shift in the wind out here and the fire just raced down this hill and it is torching the entire area there behind me. This shifting wind is incredibly challenging for firefighters. In fact, they were forced to open logging roads just so people could evacuate. And now, David, we are under a red flag warning in this area.
Just incredible pictures tonight. Kayna Whitworth in California. Kayna, thank you. The breaking headline, meantime, from Washington, D.C. Just moments ago, Vice President Kamala Harris meeting with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu amid tensions over Netanyahu's handling of that war. President Biden and Netanyahu meeting in the Oval Office earlier today. Netanyahu thanking the president for his support, even amid this strained relationship. President Biden urging Netanyahu to accept the ceasefire deal on the table and bring the remaining hostages home. Mary Bruce at the White House.
Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris, the presumptive Democratic nominee, meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House.
Welcome, Mr. Prime Minister, and I look forward to our conversation. We have lots to talk about.
Face to face amid growing tension in recent weeks over Netanyahu's handling of the war, the administration urging the prime minister to accept the ceasefire deal on the table and bring the remaining hostages home. Moments ago, the vice president coming before cameras.
I've said it many times, but it bears repeating. Israel has a right to defend itself, and how it does so matters.
Earlier, the prime minister also sitting down with President Biden in the Oval Office.
I think we should get to it.
Nearly 10 months into this war, and with the relationship between the leaders strained, Netanyahu praising Biden for his support.
So from a proud Jewish Zionist to a proud Irish-American Zionist, I want to thank you for 50 years of public service and 50 years of support for the state of Israel.
The White House tonight says the ceasefire deal is closable. President Biden making it a top priority of his remaining months in office.
And I'm going to keep working to end the war in Gaza, bring home all the hostages, and bring peace and security to the Middle East and end this war.
It's been 2 months since the president shared publicly the details of the three-part proposal to bring home the hostages and end the war. Today's meetings coming as overnight Israeli forces recovered from Gaza the bodies of 5 hostages killed in the October 7th attack. Also at the White House today, the families of Americans being held hostage, sitting down with the president and prime minister.
We met today.
Jonathan Deckelhen, whose son, 35-year-old Sagi, is still being held by Hamas, describing their discussion as productive and honest.
We got absolute commitment from the Biden administration and from Prime Minister Netanyahu that they understand the urgency of this moment now, to waste no time and to complete this deal as it currently stands with as little change as humanly possible.
And the vice president speaking just moments ago, also with a message to Americans who are demanding a ceasefire, saying, I see you and I hear you, adding, let's get this deal done. And David, tonight, Harris also reiterating her commitment to a two-state solution. David.
Mary Bruce at the White House again tonight. Mary, thank you. Meantime, in the race for the White House, Vice President Harris was also in Texas earlier today. The American Federation of Teachers endorsing her, and Harris pushing back against Donald Trump's insults, telling him to bring it on. Tonight, Donald Trump already telling his supporters, I'm not going to be nice. And Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, tonight under new scrutiny for past comments about people who don't have children. Here's Selena Wang.
Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris accepting the endorsement of the American Federation of Teachers in Houston, sounding her campaign's defining theme that this election is a fight for freedom.
In this moment, we are in a fight for our most fundamental freedoms. And to this room of leaders, I say, bring it on.
Harris sharpening her attacks on Donald Trump as an enemy of the middle class.
Donald Trump and his extreme allies want to take our nation back to failed trickle-down economic policies, back to union busting, back to tax breaks for billionaires.
Trump, who had counted on running against Joe Biden, now testing new attack lines on Harris, whose name he continues to mispronounce.
This November, the American people are going to tell her, no thanks, Kamala, you've done a terrible job.
Trump abandoning his pledge post-assassination attempt to unite the country.
When you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay?
But tonight, new scrutiny for Trump's running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, and his 2021 comments disparaging Harris for not having children.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
Tonight, actress Jennifer Aniston sharing Vance's comments with her 44 million Instagram followers, writing, "I truly can't believe this is coming from a potential VP of the United States." And the former wife of Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, coming to her defense, noting that Harris co-parents their 2 children. Kirsten Emhoff writing, "For over 10 years since Cole and Ella were teenagers, Kamala has been a co-parent with Doug and I. She is loving, nurturing, fiercely protective, and always present. I love her blended family and am grateful to have her in it." Ella Emhoff adding, "How can you be childless when you have cutie pie kids like Cole and I? I love my 3 parents." And tonight, the Harris campaign highlighting Vance's statement 3 years ago, suggesting that parents should be given extra votes in elections.
When you go to the polls in this country as a parent, you should have more power. You should have more of an ability to speak your voice in our democratic republic than people who don't have kids. Let's face the consequences and the reality. If you don't have as much of an investment in the future of this country, maybe you shouldn't get nearly the same voice. Well, doesn't this mean that non-parents don't have as much of a voice as parents? Doesn't this mean that parents get a bigger say in how our democracy functions? Yes, absolutely.
Tonight, Trump standing by Vance.
He's for the worker. No, he's great. He's doing a great job, and he's been very well received.
As Harris says she's ready to meet Trump face to face, accepting the September 10th debate on ABC News that Trump and President Biden had already agreed to.
I'm ready, and I think the voters deserve to see the split screen that exists in this race on a debate stage, and so I'm ready. Let's go.
And David, new polling out tonight from the New York Times shows just how much this race has tightened since President Biden dropped out. It is now a virtual tie, showing that Harris and Trump are now separated by just 1 point among likely voters nationwide. And this is just one of several major polls, all showing just how much closer this race has gotten since Harris became the presumptive Democratic nominee. David?
Selena Wang tonight with us as well. Thank you, Selena. We're going to turn now to the dramatic images off the coast of Alaska. For the first time, U.S. and Canadian fighter jets intercepting 2 Russian and 2 Chinese bombers. The incident raising concerns about the growing cooperation between Russia and China. Here's Martha Raddatz.
It was a bold, provocative, and unprecedented move, clearly meant to send a message to America. For the first time ever, Russia and China conducting joint patrol exercises in international airspace off the coast of Alaska and providing these videos to prove it. Launching in darkness from the same Russian base, 2 Chinese and 2 Russian unarmed but nuclear-capable strategic bombers aerially refueling over the Pacific as the U.S. military tracked them all the way. An array of armed American and Canadian fighter jets scrambling and then intercepting the bombers as they came within 200 miles of Alaska. This is the view from the U.S. aircraft provided by the Pentagon. This is the view from the Russian cockpit of the U.S. fighter jets and also the Chinese bombers.
It's the first time that we've seen these 2 countries fly together like that. They're always testing us, and that's no surprise to any of us.
The U.S. jets followed the Chinese and Russian aircraft for nearly an hour before the bombers returned to their bases.
Pentagon officials say they were not surprised by the joint exercises, but the Russians and Chinese made no secret of this mission. They want to reinforce not only their military might, but the partnership that grows deeper every day. David?
Yeah, that was quite something. Martha Raddatz. Thank you, Martha. Now to the unsettling headline from Paris tonight. There are reports a Russian suspect is under arrest for an alleged plot on the eve of the Olympics there in Paris. Have authorities foiled an alleged Russian plot? Our foreign correspondent James Longman now from Paris.
On the eve of the opening ceremony, authorities tonight say they've foiled an alleged Russian plot to disrupt the Summer Games in Paris. A Cordon Bleu trained chef is reportedly under arrest for trying to provoke hostilities in France. Though French officials haven't identified the suspect, a joint investigation by France's Le Monde, Germany's Der Spiegel and the Russia-focused The Insider identified him as 40-year-old Kirill Gryazhnov.
He is an FSB officer, which is a Russian intelligence officer who spent 14 years living in France, posing as a chef. He cooked at Michelin star restaurants.
And tonight, facing international outcry over the war in Gaza, Israel accusing Iran of trying to intimidate Israel's Olympic team. They claim 15 athletes received death threats by email and phone, with imagery echoing the horrific 1972 attack at the Munich Games. Here in Paris, security on high alert.
There is a massive security operation here in Paris. Thousands of these barriers line these streets. They create a maze of checkpoints around some of the world's most famous landmarks. Some 75,000 police, soldiers and guards have been drafted in. This is the largest mobilization in peacetime in this country. 300,000 people have tickets for the opening ceremony. A no-fly zone of more than 90 miles will span all around Paris. France is not taking any chances. David?
All right, James Longman in Paris to cover the Olympics for us. Thank you, James. To the economy here at home tonight, a new report on growth of the U.S. surpassing expectations tonight. The nation's output of goods and services, the GDP, growing 2.8% in the second quarter of this year. Consumers and businesses both spending more as inflation now cools, and with Fed Chair Jerome Powell recently hinting a rate cut could be coming now. When we come back here tonight, the images coming in late today, the deadly small plane crash at an airport in the Northeast in heavy fog, 2 dead. The images here in a moment. And later tonight here, the new reports about Céline Dion's potential comeback at the Paris Olympics and who she could be performing with. We'll have more on that in a moment. Tonight, first responders are on the scene of a deadly plane crash in Bar Harbor, Maine. Authorities say the plane flying out of Morris County, New Jersey, crashed in heavy fog at the end of the runway. 2 people on board, the pilot and passenger, were both killed. The investigation underway tonight. When we come back here, the major change for passengers flying Southwest Airlines for the first time in more than 50 years. And we take you to Madison Square Garden here in New York City, Billy Joel's final night of his decade-long residency. Bittersweet. To the index of other news tonight, Southwest Airlines ending a 53-year tradition, eliminating its open seat policy, rolling out assigned seating beginning next year. Southwest tonight saying 80% of its passengers prefer assigned seating. New signs tonight pointing to Céline Dion's reported comeback at the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympics. New reports tonight suggest she might be performing with Lady Gaga. The two are expected to sing La Vie en Rose, which Lady Gaga, of course, sang in A Star is Born. Céline Dion, who stopped performing after being diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, is posting pictures of herself in Paris saying she is so happy to be back. Stay tuned on that front. When we come back tonight, after a record run, Billy Joel's farewell tonight, we'll take you to Madison Square Garden. Finally tonight here, it was 1978, his first performance at Madison Square Garden. Tonight, Billy Joel takes a final bow after his decade-long residency. Tonight in New York City at Madison Square Garden, Billy Joel and the history made. Billy Joel ending his unprecedented decade-long residency. 10 years tonight is his 150th show there, the most of any performer ever. More than 2 million people coming to see him over the years.
Welcome to Madison Square Garden, center of the universe. This is amazing. This is so far beyond anything I ever imagined.
It was 1978, nearly 50 years ago, when Billy Joel first performed at Madison Square Garden. His residency then beginning in 2014.
When you play the Garden, the whole world knows about it. This was the center of the universe. So it was a thrill.
Tonight, the brand new public exhibit opening there, Billy Joel's original set list, his Ray-Ban sunglasses, and along the way, the incredible moments, the crowd sing-alongs. His daughter Alexa Ray on stage for a duet.
I'm in a New York state.
That surprise reunion just weeks ago. Billy Joel singing Uptown Girl, and up on that big screen, Christy Brinkley, his ex-wife, who inspired that song. Tonight, the final sold-out show, The Piano Man, and the end of a record-breaking era.
Every time you play the Garden, it's one of those, great gigs. Whether you played there 50 times before or not. It's just fun to be able to play the Garden.
It's It's going to be quite a night for the Piano Man. I'm David Muir. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.